Warning. Warning. If you hear something that makes you upset on the broadcast, true, opinion, or otherwise, you are free to sign off or go to another channel. If you can't, please contact the displayed number below to seek help. Trolling and hate watching is more serious than you think. Now back to our scheduled broadcast.
He's in the walls. He's in the goddamn wall!
Subscribe because it's not a bad idea. Hit that like button. Yes, we live in unserious times. That's why I am not participating in this diversity, equity, inclusion boycott. Because I can't take these fools seriously. These plants, these sleeper cells, groups of people who's purposed at keeping people's eye off the ball. You know, these cells include people like Jamal Bryant or Al Sharpton or D.L. Hughley. You know, think about it this way. Virtual online spaces for men are often invaded by people who disrupt, rage bait, buck dance, and I believe that sometimes that's not coincidental. So, the DEI boycott. I'm looking at the places we as a black community are supposed to be boycotting, and I say LOL. What do y'all say? Something like, if they don't respect black people, they cannot get our black dollars. We're speaking of respect. Don't make me laugh. Well, I'm already laughing actually. On top of DEI benefiting white women by a percentage so overwhelming that it should not matter to blacks who benefited at an underwhelming percentage, I'm looking at the places you call yourselves boycotting. And at the forefront, Target, Walmart, and McDonald's. Really? Question. How do you feel about the black employees at these places? If you want, you can leave a comment below the video, but no virtue signaling allowed. I can smell fake outrage a mile away. This boycott is about employment, right? The aforementioned places employ blacks at an astounding rate, yet you want to take food off the table of those black employees. Here's how businesses operate somewhat. If you hurt their bottom line, their very first cuts will always be the lower level hourly employees, the labor force, the non-decision makers. You get it? Less hours, less job opportunities, because the TV told you to. You ninjas love the TV. And no more yelling at those employees telling them to get a real job. Oh yeah, about that. Many of you don't respect the black employees who work at these places. Most of you are that obnoxious customer that no one wants to see, who becomes severely entitled over that $2 you yourself are about to spend at any of these places. Shit, I've seen social media posts about newly automated McDonald's, and I never see comments expressing the sentiment, "Oh no, what about those poor employees? No."
Can't we just say employees? What about your employees? Oh, fuck that.
I mean, it's usually comments like, now they would get my burger right. Ladies, would you date a man who works at McDonald's as a burger flipper, a fry station guy, drive-through cashier, whatever? Would you date that guy? My point is the hypocrisy of our people. You make fun of the employees and you give them a hard time when you shop at these places, yet you're upset because Becky and Karen can't use DEI to skip the line. And, you know, I'm kind of guilty of this myself. I've said in the past that big backs who constantly complain and cry about black men online are nothing but baby mamas who go to work wearing blue vests. But the difference is, I'm not participating in this stupid boycott. I don't follow demagogues and stink oil salesmen. You know who else is on the DEI boycott list? Goldman Sachs. The same Goldman Sachs who were giving $1 billion to black women to open businesses. Not black men, black women. How did that work out, by the way? The whole thing is to just keep you from focusing on real issues, or to keep you from focusing on who's really screwing you over. And we fall for it every time. We as blacks are always fighting for everyone else and against each other. Maybe if the TV said it, black people would finally unite. Now, that's not what the TV wants. And most of you are just blinded by your hatred of President Trump anyway. But Trump. And the TV told y'all to do that. Look, do what you want, but ask yourselves, Why are they pushing a boycott without offering black alternatives, pointing the finger and directing these protesters to the black businesses? Because they can't and they won't. Remember, these black faces like Jamal Bryant and Al Sharpton are the same kinds that Malcolm X was talking about in his The Ballot or the Bullet speech. This DEI boycott is an absolute joke. Yes, we live in unserious times.